Jaws, everyone knows, but so did I when I was with him. It was brilliant, but I mean, I'll start for you.
One of the things you said as well was when you went at the rap party, when you said that George spent so much time with you,
mate, I
and there
recognise
was
the
a kind of
voice, yeah.
subtail off to that. Was the reason for it was
He took us to Rodney Marsh's place in Chelsea. He had a bar at the time, and I was 15 and my brother was 12, and we sat in the bar with George. And he sat there for about 2 hours, and he didn't get involved with any of the adults. And the director went up, he said, "How come George is spending all the time with the kids?" He said, "He's not like mixing." There's about 50 to 70 crew there. And they said, "Well, them kids ain't going to sell a stogie, are they?" And he was selling away, but he was that, he was the fifth Beatle, he was that much of an icon. But it gained us a friendship then, because he trusted me from the child, so we knew he was growing up, and he was brilliant, he was.
Yeah, we've had some fun. We got together by a mutual person that we both know, and we both done an Easter pantomime, didn't we? Down in where I was the evil ringmaster. Don't get any puns involved in that, alright? And then and Steve, bless him, was with the Three Bears, wasn't it? It was a bit of feedback there. And so, and then mutually a friend of ours put us together to do a show around the holiday park. So I've known Lee a long time, so it was only natural that we'd gravitate here to some way. And to come and see you guys. But yeah, your question earlier was how did I get involved really with acting? I was a chef for many years, and then I had enough by then. I left school very early, by sort of, when I say early, about 12, 13. I still went back, still got a few little exams in there. Then I started working in the kitchens as a kitchen porter at that time, so my education suffered. And then, cut a long story short, I went from 3-star to 4-star to 5-star hotels, and I went to work for Raymond Blanc at the Mamarot Saison for a while. Couldn't cut the mustard, I'll be straight up with you. And literally had a bit of a nervous breakdown when I was 26. I had a pond in the garden, I tend to remember. Anyway, carrying that through, I then met a girl called Lucy, whose father done Amdram, you see, so I got involved in loads of amateur dramatics. And at one stage I was, I was in about 6 different Amdram groups, because at that age bracket they can't find many people for smaller parts, as it were. And the next thing you know, someone said go to drama school. I put myself in drama school when I was 27. And then rungs on ladders really in my career. But, I've done there was lots of London casting then. The Bill Burnside, London is Burning. I've done about 3 or 4 pilots for the BBC, and then I got the role of Gary. They auditioned 400 people for Gary, and they got us down to 10, and they workshopped us in the Queen Vic, and then I was told I got the part, which was, kept my nose clean as it were for 10 years, and done 850 episodes. Went on to do Strictly Come Dancing, mucked up me tango, madam, thank you. Mucked up me tango, you know what it's like when you muck your tango up, don't you? Is that your husband? How long have you been married? 18 years. You're nearly done then, you're nearly done. Nearly done then. Love is but a light switch away, darling, isn't it? You know that. So yeah, went on and done Strictly Come Dancing, and got a good hand of cards with Erin when I danced with her, and got the chance to dance on the stadiums around the country, like basically the O2 and Wembley Arena and stuff like that. So the boy from Walthamstow didn't do too bad for himself. And I like to think that with that Strictly thing that's going on now, it's a little bit, everyone's a little bit precious. There's no tough love, and when I looked at what I had to do to get as far as I got, it was almost like they are regimented and they are strict, and because they want to win it themselves and they want to push you as well. But now it seems, sorry? No, I don't know anything about that, madam. Anyhow, listen, keep your finger on your buzzer, right? And then when you want to interrupt me again, just buzz it, alright? I'm only joking. I've got a red card then as well. So yeah, I've danced all the stadiums and stuff, but going back to that Strictly thing, I think they're a little bit woke, some of them, and it's like, you've only got to say the wrong thing these days, and they don't take it, they take everything to heart, and it is a regime, it's a strict regime. And I put my heart and soul into it, and got as far as I got, I'd like to think, by taking the knocks and doing the right thing, And like I say, here we are, but you've done, which I love about you, where you said about dancing on ice.
Yeah, I did that, but I've not got much to say about it. I got voted off the first week, so that was pretty much it. And I weren't bothered because I still got paid the same.
think you've done the right thing. I lost 2 stone, and you were in Thailand.
I don't care, I got paid.
Well, that's about it, yeah, but all good. But anyway,
Typical Northerner, brilliant.
Anyone got any questions? I don't know. About anything, ask us about anything. I mean,
Yeah, do you know my cousin Andy? He works in EastEnders as well, yeah, and then Dom Jones, same job.
Me, myself, I go off the TV.
Years later. He was in this years ago, yeah, years and years and years ago. Gary Hobbs, he was.
So, any questions? Just put your hand up.
Google him.
Is that, yes, yes.
Google him. I'm recording, Google him. EastEnders.
Okay, yeah, what year did I leave EastEnders? Well, the funny thing is, back when Steve,
1874.
And we both left. You left Corrie after 16 years in 2010. Same as me, I left EastEnders in 2010, so I think you've done 16 years, so you started 94,
14 years ago. Yeah.
95, and I started 2000, so yeah, 1,250 episodes, 850.
Oh, I really don't
really. It's quite scary when you think about it, because at that time we were like seen by people, millions, but like, it did it affect you at all in a way, or?
Your life changed all of a sudden. I mean, I've done a lot of TV before it.
Oh, you can tell this girl's not old enough to drive.
Within 6 weeks of
Shouldn't
being
even
on the
look in her rear
programme,
view.
it's just like a whirlwind, isn't it? I mean, you'll know yourself leaving your hotel.
Go right
Your
here.
life changes so much, you can't go anywhere. Which is nice, you know, if you're a popular character and stuff. But it does turn your world upside down, and it's great, especially if you're single. It's really good if you're single. But yeah, it does, it takes over the press, everything, but the job itself, it's an absolute dream. I mean, I love my time on Coronation Street. You know what, I grew up with some lads there from like the age of 20, and I stayed with them, so we went through all our 20s and most of our 30s together, and they're still my friends now, so you're blessed by what you've done, and I get still a lot of work off the back of it.
Yeah, me, well, I'll tell you, just if I could be self-indulgent for one moment, if you can't be self-indulgent in life, when can you not be? My first What Fame was about was a charity football match over Royston, organised by Steve McFadden. And there was, used to be the Walford Boys,
Phil Mitchell,
team, all EastEnders and a few crew and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know.
And it was against another team. So they advertised it, and there must have been 1,500 people there. So this was 3 months. I just
Do you know Stephen McFadden?
I know Stephen McFadden.
Yeah.
But it was back in the day when they had, didn't have phone cameras, they had the disposable ones as well as, but very much disposable cameras were the thing, you know. So the whole game's going
Grant's brother.
And it was mainly like teenage girls and boys and like, you know,
Sharon's
that sort of
ex.
And
One of her.
I thought,
I know exactly, one of her.
So
one of her
you're
exes.
facing people, you're signing autographs, and they're taking photos with a disposable camera, and you're going, okay, this is what it's about. Who's it to? Best wishes and all that sort of thing. And there was a young lad in the square at the time called Jack Ryder, who was the young teenage heartthrob at the time. And obviously he's got a big following and stuff like that. And I kid you not, this is what happened. So I've done my bit with it.
I think I played Jamie.
We've done the game's concluded. I've gone into the change rooms, I've got changed, I've come back out again. There's still some people there want an autograph and a photo and stuff like that. And this is the fickleness of fame. As in, there's always going to be someone more popular than you. That Jack Ryder came out of the change room like that, and I kid you not, 30 or 40 people that were here, mainly teenage girls and people that went, "Whoa!" towards him, and I was left with a pen and paper. And I thought, that is how fame works. You're never going to beat the who's the most popular. See you.
It's amazing though as time goes on, like I always get like, did I play football with you, was in the army, but one of the best stories I've got, I was doing a play at the Loud in Manchester, and my mate Gilly, he lived in Salford, so he was there for a week. So I said, can I crash at yours? So he says, yeah, of course you can. So it turns up at his house. I'd been left about 7 years, and he said, I'm going for my haircut, Stephen. Thank you very much, Corrie. I said, I'll come with you for something to do. He said, not on till like 7:30. So he goes in the barber's and he's getting his hair cut. I said, I'll just nip outside, I smoke. I said, I'll just nip outside for the cigarette. And I've just lit my cig, and this bloke comes walking up, about 24 stone, and he's walking up to me, looking as if he would rip my head off. He's like, oh my God, I've only just lit my cig. I can't just go back in. So he went, you alright? I went, yeah mate, yeah. He went, fucking legend. You're an absolute fucking legend, you. I said, oh cheers mate. He said, what are you up to now? I said, just working in Manchester. He said, oh, it's nice to see you. He said, but you're an absolute legend. Lovely to meet you, Scalzi.
That's what I love. We've been sat in the car. We've driven from Dorset, Devon, Portobello, Cornwall, up to Hull. We've been sat in the car just talking different little stories and stuff like that. And one thing a lot of people don't know about Stephen is how successful he was as a boxer when you were young. And would you like to just tell us a little bit about that? Is that alright? I feel like I'm interviewing you now.
I was a massive fan of Rocky, and my idol when I was a kid was Barry McGuigan. And I just loved Barry, I always loved him. And he was into Ferryton and I was, coming from up north, as you do with your Whippets and your Jack Russells. But I started boxing when I was the age of 8. I had 49 fights. I lost 4. They're the only ones I can remember, the ones I lost. But yeah, at the end of it, I had to back him though with bad hands because the ref kept standing on him. But yeah, I love my boxing. It was just great. It just like really grounded you. It makes you respect other people and your opponent, and it just drives you on to be better and better. But it was just a great learning curve for me, boxing, and having respect for other people. But yeah, I love my boxing. I had to pack in obviously because of my acting. I mean, I got cut when I was sparring, and I went filming one day and the director like went blinding hell at me. I mean, he went through the roof. He said, what have you been doing? I said, I've been sparring. He said, you can't spar while you're filming. So they had to postpone filming for 3 days. But yeah, I love my boxing. I couldn't do it now though.
And I'm interviewing you again. But he's got some wonderful stories because when some of the guys, the boxers come over from America, you were charged with being sort of a chaperone to them, weren't you? And tell us just some of those names because I was so impressed.
A few good mates of mine, I used to box with that and stuff, and I got a phone call off a few like old trainers who used to have and stuff, said like we've got Mike Tyson coming over, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Duran, Muhammad Ali, and basically they just give me like a bank card and said, look, you look after them for 6 weeks each. And it was just being a boxer myself, and we did like Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Marvin Hagler. You know, it was just to be in that company with them and stuff. It was just fantastic. One of the funny stories was, you know, Holyfield got his ear bit by Mike Tyson, and we're doing this gig, and he had to pay extra money to go in the VIP room. And I'd got quite friendly with Holyfield by this time. And I walked in this room and he was there. There was about 50 people in there. And he said, hey Stevie, he said, do you want a pint? I said, no thanks, I've got one here. And everyone just said, I went, oh. Yeah, because Tyson bit one off and everyone thought we were taking a piss out of him.
I've got one here. You got it here, didn't you? Yeah, so I mean, I was so impressed when you said about that because it's like those sort of legends that are living legends in the boxing world. You know? Has anyone else got another little question? Anyone over there want to put your hand up? No? Where's that? What's that? No, what am I doing Tuesday? What? Hang on, I've got a man over here. Will it stretch that far, the mic? We do a celebrity lookalike competition as well as we go on. Hello. Right, question for you. Is it Stephen's, mate, isn't it? What's your question?
One for you, Ricky, yeah, is will you ever go back with EastEnders? And one for Stephen is how was it working with Fred?
Was it working with Fred? He'd love that as well because he's a legend back then. One thing this gentleman said, Steve's mate, I can't remember his first name. No, sorry, that's Steve. That's Steve. Yeah. Would I ever go back to EastEnders? That gentleman else had it. Yeah, I think I would. Simply for profile. I think you asked to be killed off, didn't you? He asked to be killed off. And I kind of sailed off into the sunset with a girl. Cara Toynton, FHM's top 100, number 22, which weren't a bad day's work. Having a kiss her weren't a bad day's work. And I'd say, yeah, I would do. I'd like to go back just a little guest slot or something like that, or just to sort of remind people of who I am, because it was a fantastic time I was there. And not only that, you can go to the panto producers and get a bit more money off them at Christmas. Because you're more popular. It's all about profile these days, honestly, trust me on that. And yeah, the lovely John.
John Savin that played earlier, that man taught me everything I know. We buried him this year on the 22nd of March. He was an absolute legend. And everyone always advised me when I was younger, and I did say he's like common as muck and Etty Wainfront. Did 2 years on children's ward and stuff, and everyone said, don't do a soap, don't do a soap. And my agent, I had 2 weeks off, and my agent said, just go in and do one ep. Just go and do one ep. So I said, go on then, I will. So I went in, and I met John. Anyway, we did this scene, I thought, God, he's good in. He's so good. He's just he's such an intelligent actor. Anyway, the scene went really well. And the producers had watched it from upstairs and wrote me into the next episode and said, if you learn this, you'll get another ep fee. I said, do it. So we did this other scene, and the following day, just went home, the phone rang, it was my agent. He said, how did you find this today? I said, it was brilliant. I said, that bloke I've just worked with, said, he's the best I've ever worked with. And they said, well, would you want to do 3 months? So I said, is he doing it?
Hi.
And they said, yeah. So the rest was history. I ended up being there for 16 years. But the man, he was, I'll tell you about John, what happened to him. He was filming Waterloo. Remember the film Waterloo? And he'd signed a 3-part movie deal in Hollywood. And he was on the back of an horse. He said he could ride an horse and he couldn't. And he come off it and cracked his skull. No, he did, but he ended up in intensive care for 18 months, and then he lost his contract then in Hollywood, so he just missed out. But I got him then, but he was an absolute legend. I mean, I cannot tell you how much I looked up to him. He was just a fantastic human being. He was like, the scenes that we did together, the emotional stuff, the funny stuff, it was so natural because we got on so well, but he proper took me under his wing and really looked after me. And I direct a lot now and produce. And it's my words, it's me speaking, but it's all his words he taught me coming out of my mouth. He was an absolute legend. I can't praise him any higher than I can, honestly. He was brilliant.
Yeah, and it, you know,
Right, I'm going to shoot it now.
Doors open, doors close, and not happening to John, and then all of a sudden him coming
Gary
into
Hobbs,
your
EastEnders.
and he's up there now looking at us, you know.